Alright, so let's take a look at some of these homework problems. We were just simplifying rational expressions, and we needed to get common denominators to do that. So, I'm going to take a look at 9.4. Let's see if we can find some good ones here. This was on page 573. Alright, I'm sure you guys probably figured that out, I hope. Alright, so let's see, taking a look here. Number 11 looks good. Let's do number 11. Number 11 says 6 over x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus 5 over x plus 2. What else here? Number 12. I'm sure you guys didn't like number 12. X over x minus y plus y over y squared minus x squared. I don't really like the way that looks. Maybe I'll change that by factoring out a -1. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. So I'll do these two for now. Alright, so number 11. If we factor this, we would get x plus 2 times x plus 2. We could take out, let's see here, we have an x plus 2. So it looks like our least common denominator, we definitely need an x plus 2. But we also need another x plus 2. So I'm going to multiply this one by x plus 2 over x plus 2. I think it's going to give us 6 plus 5 times x plus 2 all over our common denominator. And we could distribute the top. We're going to leave the bottom alone. And on top, we get 5x plus 16 over x plus 2 squared. Now you can write x plus 2 twice if you want. It's a little less writing to do that, so that's what I'm going to do. That should be the answer for number 11. So for number 12, remember what I said. This is a little funky. I'm going to rewrite that so it's negative x squared plus y squared. And I'm going to take out a -1. So it's x squared minus y squared. Just because, I mean, who writes y squared minus x squared? I'm thinking if x comes first here, x comes first here, it might be a good idea for x to come first. So we're going to get x over x minus y plus y over -1 times x plus y times x minus y. That's a difference of perfect squares. Plus 2x over x plus y. So our least common denominator, we definitely need an x minus y. So I'm going to have to multiply that by that over here. We definitely need an x plus y. So I'm going to need to multiply that by this one over here. And also, I factored out this -1, so I'm going to need a -1 under each fraction. So let's multiply by what we're missing. On the left, we're going to need to multiply by -1 times x plus y over -1 times x plus y. On the right, we're going to need to multiply by -1 times x minus y. It's kind of messy, but I don't think this is hard math. You guys could handle this. So combining all this, it's going to be -1 times x plus y plus 2x times -1 is -2x times x minus y all over common denominator of -1 times x plus y times x minus y. Just be careful, it's not difficult math that we're doing here. This would be -x squared minus xy plus y minus 2x squared plus 2xy all over -1 times x plus y times x minus 1. Combining like terms, we get -3x squared. Takes care of this and this. -xy plus 2xy is plus 1xy. And then we just have a y left over. Just to make things a little bit neater, I'm going to factor out a -1 from the top and cancel it out with the 1 on the bottom. This one should be an x minus y here. I don't know why I forgot to write that. These would cancel, giving us the final answer of 3x squared minus xy minus y over x plus y times x minus y. Okay, so that's what that looks like. All right, what else do we have here? 11, 12, 20 to 27, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Those are all kind of similar. Maybe I'll do one like 26. And then I asked you to do on practice 9, 4, 1 to 6. All right, so I'll do a couple more here. Number 26, it says we have x plus 1 plus 1 over x plus 1. And I'll pick one on the worksheet too. I asked you to do 1 through 6, so let me pick a good one here. 1's like what we did in class, 2 is like this one, 3 is easy, 4 is easy, 5 looks interesting. And number 6, you just have to factor out a -1. So I think between the two of them, 6 on the worksheet would probably be the most confusing, so I'll do that. 2 minus 5m over m minus 9 plus 4m minus 5 over 9 minus m. So I think I'm going to have to do a little switcheroo here on this last one, but we'll deal with that in a minute. All right, so I'm thinking on number 26, if I put this over 1, the LCD would be just x plus 1. So if I multiply the top and bottom here by x plus 1 over x plus 1, that would give us our least common denominator. So we're going to have x plus 1 times x plus 1 plus 1 all over x plus 1. Let's multiply this out. X squared plus 2x plus 1 plus the 1. And it looks like x squared plus 2x plus 2. That's not going to factor anymore. And this should be our answer. For number 6, I know 9 minus m and m minus 9 are similar. If I factor out a -1 from this, let's see here. I'm going to write this 4m minus 5, but I'm going to have -m plus 9. And if I take out a -1 from the bottom, it's m minus 9. So this is what I'm looking at. 2 minus 5m over m minus 9 plus 4m minus 5 over -1 times m minus 9. So our least common denominator, we both have an m minus 9 now, so that's good. But we do have a factor of -1 over here, so everything needs a factor of -1. Multiply the top and bottom here by -1, and let's see what we're left with. -1 times 2 minus 5m plus 4m minus 5, all divided by -1 times m minus 9. Well, if we distribute the -1 on top, -2 plus 5m plus 4m minus 5 divided by we don't want to distribute at the bottom, just leave it alone. -1 times m minus 9. Combine our like terms. 9m. -2 minus 5 is -7. And this would be a good answer. I mean, you could leave this alone if you want. If you wanted to, you could factor out a -1 from the top. It's not necessary to do the -1, but this would also be an acceptable answer. All right, so that's it for your homework review. Stay tuned for today's lesson, and we're going to be having a quiz tomorrow.